All right, Weapons, the new film from Zach Cregger, writer director of Barbarian, one of Jimmy's favorite movies. Jimmy's favorite movie of the last decade, maybe
the 2020s.
The 2020s
so
at
far.
least.
I love it.
Yeah, it's a great movie. And so this was a very highly anticipated one that has gone through a lot of troubles in some regard, because like pretty much the whole cast has changed.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. I don't remember who all was in it originally. I know Pedro Pascal was in it.
Yeah.
For some reason, I want to say Emma Stone was originally in this.
Wow.
I could be misremembering that. I didn't double check that, but
Just went, well, now it's out there.
and now it's out there.
Spreading this information.
Yeah, I'm saying it as fact.
Wow.
Apparently the only actor that out of the main cast that stayed on throughout it was Austin Abrams, who plays the junkie character in it.
Yep.
So interesting. But what'd you think of this movie, Jimmy? We saw it separately.
We did see it separately.
Jimmy saw it
in
in a seedy theater.
Yeah. And I can talk about that more in spoilers, I guess, the theater experience. Remind me, Holden.
Okay.
Remind me. But yeah, no, I enjoyed this movie quite a bit. I think I avoided all the trailers. I did know the basic premise of I thought it was all the kids in the class.
Yeah, no, that's like what the marketing led you to believe. I thought that was an interesting little thing.
But basically, almost all the kids in this third grade class, something like that.
It's third grade.
Disappear one night, 2:17 a.m. all at the same time, leaving. It's on the Ring doorbell cameras and all that. And the teacher's there still, comes to work, and there's one kid in the class left. And what happened? Basically, where are these kids? What happened? And the movie's told from a bunch of different perspectives surrounding this story. And I really liked the structure of this, tackling one of these perspectives at a time. And
it's like the structure of Barbarian, but gone even further.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. A lot of this is definitely bigger in scope and scale than Barbarian in every way. Yeah, no, I really enjoyed the structure of this.
Apparently heavily influenced by Magnolia, which I've never seen.
Yes, I know that especially Alden Ehrenreich's character, who is a cop, is basically Zach Cregger in interviews said that I just wanted John C. Reilly's character from Magnolia in this movie. So
Sure.
he's just plugged him in. He's like, I don't know how it's gonna work, but I want him in this movie. But yeah, no, I thought the cast was terrific. I really enjoyed all of these different perspectives. I think for me, it was a little bit slow to get going at the beginning. Like, I wanted to get things moving along, but once things did get moving, I thought it was great. Earlier in the podcast, we talked about how, it doesn't just have cheap jump scares in it. There are a couple jump scares in this, but there are ones that are like, hey, there's going to be a jump scare. But the more unsettling, disturbing parts of this are just the atmosphere, vibe, overall tone, what's happening,
and this
visuals that you see.
This does the good thing with jump scares too, where it doesn't do it at the obvious spot usually.
Yeah. One's coming up.
One's coming up, but it's not so telegraphed. It's like usually it disarms you enough to think there might not be a jump scare, and it might go even a little bit longer than that, and then the jump scare happens.
There's no fake out jump scares either. Like,
no.
Oh, I bumped into you. Oops. Oh, it's a cat.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I don't think there is any of that.
Yeah. I'll talk about some other tropes that I watched a lot of Zach Cregger's interviews after this, and he talked about other tropes that he hates in horror movies that he wanted to make sure he didn't do in this. I could talk more about that in spoilers, but overall, your thoughts, Holden?
I really liked it. It might be my favorite straight up horror movie of the year. Sinners is kind of a mix of things, so I like Sinners more than this, but I think I might like this more than Bring Her Back, honestly. I really dug this. It has a couple issues that I'll talk about in spoilers, but it's just such a wild ride. And even honestly, it's nice that you didn't watch the trailers, but I really didn't know what to expect at all from this movie, even having seen the trailers. I would say there's like just kind of one thing that if you didn't know was in it was from the trailers would probably be quite a surprise. But yeah, I thought it was incredible. I thought it was really funny.
Yeah.
Very funny. I mean, it's talked about a lot. We've mentioned it before, how horror and comedy go hand in hand. And so you've got a lot of comedy people that make really good horror movies, a lot of people that love to mesh the two genres. I mean, Jordan Peele's like the big one right now, where he's, former comedy guy and mostly just makes horror now, or horror adjacent stuff. But yeah, I mean, I thought the balance here was pretty incredible. I thought there were some genuinely pretty creepy and scary scenes in this. And then like not long later, there would be like a bit that would have me laughing, like genuinely too. And it never felt tonally off or anything. It was like surprising it was as funny as it was, I'd say. Like, even though Barbarian has its funny moments too. And Zach Cregger's just a former comedy guy as well. But I was still surprised just because, I mean, the whole concept of the movie and like the trailers,
bunch of kids
and
missing.
Yeah, like I just wasn't
disturbing.
expecting like the comedy, but I still think it works. It never feels tonally like any sort of whiplash or anything.
I agree with that completely. Yeah. I like this movie quite a bit too. Gosh, it's really hard for me to differentiate between Sinners, Bring Her Back, Together, this 28 years later, all these horror movies that we got this year that have been really good. I think it just depends on the day for me.
Sure.
I think this is one that I've liked more actually since seeing it.
Yeah.
Going back and looking at the stylistic choices. I like how this one's left intentionally vague enough, which is one of the things I really liked about Barbarian is you have all these details. You have lots of details, but you also have gaps missing that are intentionally left there for you to fill in the blank. So yeah, there's kind of like, certain motives and certain things in this that are left blank. There's scenes that are implied to have happened, things that happen off screen. And as you're seeing these things from people's perspectives too, there is almost even a little bit of a bias to certain things. I know that Alden Ehrenreich talked about like, I played this scene. I like scaled up what I was doing because it was told from this other character's perspective, that sort of thing, which I really enjoyed that as well. The big thing here is a lot of people are dissatisfied with the ending. Like, I like the whole movie till the end. Did you feel that way?
Okay, I think that I really like the ending overall. I will say one of my gripes with the movie though is that I think it's a case of
Jax is barking is barking
Yeah,
at all the
strong.
children running T-pose to our house.
Yeah. It's a case of I think the answer is not nearly as interesting as the mystery.
Yeah.
Which happens a lot, but I do think for me that kind of lessens the movie a bit because I feel like I was just like expecting more from it, I guess. And I there's a certain perspective later on in the movie that I quite like and that kind of explains everything. And I like a lot of that sequence, but I feel like it's just, it kind of, what it boils down to is kind of, like, sure. Like, I don't know.
Do you
It's
think
creepy.
if you think you would have had more of an explanation as to why, like more of the details surrounding what exactly happens?
Maybe.
Because a
I
lot
don't
of
know.
things are left out.
Yeah,
when
they
you're
do.
you're given like, all right, here's the broad answer, but there's a lot of details within that you're not given.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know exactly what would have fixed it. I really haven't spent that much time reflecting about it because I kind of forgot I had this thought until now. But yeah, I don't know. But I guess that was a bit of a tangent. Overall, the ending, I do really like the ending. Okay. I think I understand why people don't like the ending. I think it's very satisfying though, for the most part, in terms of like what's actually happening. But
I do enjoy the ending overall as well. It does end very abruptly.
Yeah.
I thought
that's maybe
like the cut to credits is like,
that would
there it
maybe be,
is.
if I were to say one issue with the ending, I'd say maybe it's a bit too abrupt, but at the same time, I don't know. I wasn't left really wondering too much about like where the characters would go after that or anything. It just seemed like, okay, yeah, logical.
yeah. No, I again, we'll dive into everything spoilers in terms of specific characters and moments and all that, but like you said, the blend of all these different tones. Like there's even a shot in this movie, an extended sequence that's like starts off like weird, creepy, is funny, and then it's like cringeworthy, terrifying. Like I can't watch this. I'm on the edge of my seat, all in one kind of
I think I know
one
which
kind
one
of
you're talking
sequence.
about. Yeah.
That's like you can feel everybody in the theater just curl, like your toes curl up, like
Yeah.
oh no, I don't want this to happen.
I also think it's like there's a lot of bits. This goes along with that. There's a lot of bits in this movie that could easily that are meant to be scary that could easily be misinterpreted as funny, or I mean maybe not misinterpreted, but just could be seen as funny as well. But I don't know. I was kind of surprised. Like there were several moments where I was like in my head, I'm like, oh God, the audience in this theater is going to laugh at this moment. It's going to ruin it and it's going to be annoying. But it never really happened. I felt like we all were kind of on the same wavelength for this whole movie, at least me and my audience in the theater. So I don't know. I think that speaks to the strengths of the balance.
Yeah. For whatever reason, people are always trying to label this is the most disturbing thing ever.
No.
There was long legs. And I was like, this is not any more scary or disturbing to me.
I don't think it's
lots
like,
of other
I don't
things.
think the overhype is quite there as much as with long legs, because long legs had all the marketing behind it. And this has marketing behind it and stuff, but it's not really playing into like this is the scariest movie of all time as much. It's more of just marketing itself off of the really cool premise. But yeah, I mean, you're always going to have people overhype it. I mean, it's got like a 96 on Rotten Tomatoes or something like that.
Yeah.
And so people are going to be saying it's the scariest movie of all time. It's not, but I do think it's like, I was surprised by how scary it was. I don't get scared that easily, but there were several pretty creepy parts in this, which alongside the fact that it was very funny was quite surprising.
Yeah, there's a lot of WTF moments in this too. It gets bonkers at times, which I think if you've seen Barbarian, you do like, well, I kind of expected here. I think it's a really well put together movie. And I think it's one that is probably really good on second watch. I've heard people say that, once you know the mystery, it's not going to be as good the second time. But I think there's kind of breadcrumbs in here.
Well, with
things
all the
you would
different
pick
perspectives too, like you're going to see certain things from other perspectives that you wouldn't have noticed the first time. Once it's revealed later through a different one. But yeah,
I think it's really solid. It didn't like transcend to like some like level of incredible thing that Barbarian did for me. But I think is quite solid, and certainly I would say Zach Cregger is 2 for 2.
Oh, absolutely.
But yeah, great year for horror continues on here. Anything else you want to say?
Well,
spoiler
we didn't really
free
talk
wise
about the cast, which I do want to mention on spoilers, because I think everyone here is pretty incredible. Alden Ehrenreich, very different from pretty much anything else I've seen him in. Josh Brolin's very good. Julia Garner is playing a character that her character was not what I was expecting. Honestly, I feel like her character is like imperfect in ways that I was not expecting. I expected her to be more of a goody two shoes character that's just being wronged or something, but no, it was interesting. Austin Abrams as the drug addict was cool. Child actor Carrie Christopher, very good. I thought that was a very really good child performance.
Yes.
But everyone else is good too.
I really like Benedict Wong.
Yes.
I quite enjoyed. He's like the principal of the school. And I really liked his part. But yeah, no, really good stuff. I think they did some fun stuff with the music too. With differentiating it between the chapters. So I think I would that's something probably I would catch more of the second time watching. But I do want to see this one again.
No, I do too. Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm really excited for Resident Evil next year.
My gosh,
Zach Cregger's adaptation, which he has completely written and storyboarded to 100%. He's ready to go.
Well, and he said several times that like this is not based on any one of the games. It's more of just based on the world, and it's its own original thing, and probably won't follow any of the characters from the games. So I'm very interested to see what he does with that.
Very interested. All right, what do you want to rate Weapons?
I think I'm at a 9 on this. Really like this a lot. Wow. So, 9 out of 10 feel comfortable. A lot of really good, I mean, as you said, a lot of really good horror this year. I think this is my favorite straight. I do think I like Sinners a little more than this, but I do think this is my favorite, like, more straight up horror movie of the year.
Awesome. Well, Holden, let's dive into our spoiler-filled thoughts. Of course, let us know what you think down in the comments. Comment in on Spotify as well. This is going to be our spoiler-filled thoughts on Weapons.
Spoilers for Weapons.
So, I mean,
The weapons were in us the whole time.
On one hand, I get it. It's all just witchcraft.
Yeah.
Which, paranormal. When I was watching the autopsy of Jane Doe, without getting into it too much, I remember being really disappointed that it's just supernatural witchcraft stuff. Which I think helped me, because then when I went into Longlegs, I'm just like, well, I'm just going to expect it to be that. And then when it is something along those lines, like, okay, with this, I'm like, I have no expectations whatsoever. I'm just here for the journey. And while it is just like, okay, witchcraft, that sort of thing, he gave us one heck of a witch.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I thought Amy Madigan was
she
quite
was
the on-screen presence as like,
apparently married to Ed Harris.
really? That's interesting. Very like, looks like a clown.
Yeah.
Like for a lot of it.
Yeah.
Which is terrifying in of itself. But then she's just like this whole like voodoo-esque ceremony thing that she does, which I love how you just understand how it works.
Yeah.
It is just completely shown. There's no like, oh, this is what happened. No, it's just all show, not tell. Completely understand how it works. And it is her on-screen presence, how she just goes from like, oh, sweet, innocent lady to just absolutely cold-hearted killer. And even how physically she transforms within the scenes. Something Zach Cregger has a phobia of crazy, grotesque women, I guess. Between this and Barbarian. But I thought she was really excellent. So I'm like, you know what? Sure, it was just supernatural witchcraft, but boy, that was probably the most entertaining way to do that for me.
Yeah, no, I think, I agree. Her character was crazy, wild, really liked it, really fun witch, really liked how they portrayed the voodoo stuff. I don't know, for me, there's something about like the mystery of the movie boiling down to the kids got up and left at 2:17, which ultimately doesn't mean anything. It's just the time that she happened to snap the voodoo. Got up
unless it does mean something.
And maybe thematically it does. But got up at this time, came over just for her to be like leeching off of their life force. I don't know. I know it's, maybe a bit disingenuous to boil it down to that because there's a lot of stuff around it, but I don't know. The fact that they're just in the basement and they're just, when you first see them in the basement, it's a creepy scene.
That is very creepy.
Yeah. That's a very good visual. But the fact that they're just down there and she's basically just leeching off of them, I'm like, I don't know. I was a little unsatisfied by that being like the motivation, I guess I would say, maybe. But
I thought there would be more of like maybe a visual of her sucking out their life force. It's not explicitly said that is what is happening, but you put it together, right?
You put it together.
Your parents weren't enough.
Yeah.
Now I need a whole classroom full of kids.
Yeah.
Gosh. So some of the chapters, I think my favorite chapter was the kids, Alex, right? I thought the actor, what's his name?
Carrie Christopher.
I thought he was exceptional as this kid. And it was just really sad.
Yeah,
it was
just a very depressing watch.
Just to see like, oh, hey, Axe, man, like, how was school today? Oh, we're going to do this nice thing for your mom's aunt.
Yeah.
Like, they're just like this really nice, wholesome family.
And he already gets bullied at school.
You almost think there's going to be like a revenge angle on that. Nope.
No, he's just a nice kid.
He's just a nice kid. Like,
he's trying to help his parents.
Feeding this kid the soup and all that. Mm-hmm. Just like devastating to watch. And then you think of like he's sitting there and even when he has to switch classes, like, he still has to do all this work. And like, how does this kid do that? when at home all this stuff is happening. And, just that compartmentalize. What the heck?
I think
Compartmentalizing. I think I got it. He has to do, as a teacher, it's like, I thought that was a beautiful way of saying, like, you have no idea what's going on in anybody's life. And a lot of times the kids can't tell you really either, even though you had the scene where Julia Garner goes down and is like, you can tell me anything, right? Is there something like she notices, which as a teacher is like what you do. And she even goes to report it. And like, they actually, that is the system in place. Like, okay. And that scene was just devastating. Of course, you had them sticking the forks in themselves, him trying to snap them out of it. Just basically getting blackmailed, cornered into this position of doing these really horrible things. And then you have the whole scene of him sneaking off and trying to figure out what he's going to take. Again, just a really good job of using the camera and using film to have us go inside these characters' perspectives and identify with what they're thinking, when he's looking around at the different objects that they have. And then you ultimately see his decision making just really well blocked out. And you can tell that Zach Cregger storyboards every single shot of his movies because they are so tight from that perspective. Another example of that would be Justine Gandy, the teacher in her home, and the knocking at the door and her perspective of all that. Is another good example of seeing from that perspective. Anything else you want to say about kind of the Alex's point of view that I maybe
No, not really. I thought it was a really nice way to kind of spell out what was happening in the movie without just feeling like it's hand holding you through it or anything. I did want to mention, kind of going along with it, that the trailer, and we talked about this a bit non-spoilers, the trailers do not reveal that there is a kid still there. The trailers just make it seem, and the whole like posters and everything make it seem like the whole class is gone.
I think if the official synopsis, there's a kid there.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
What does it say on the poster? Poster, it says every child.
Okay, on Google it says when all but one child from the same classroom mysteriously vanished on the same night
since the movie came out.
At exactly the same time, a community was left questioning who or what is behind their disappearance. I don't know.
But I was very surprised. That was like the very beginning of the movie, and there was already like a wrinkle in it I wasn't expecting, because now you're like, well, why is this kid here?
It's gotta be like, why this kid? That sort of thing. I guess the one thing, or it's like suspending my disbelief. I'm like, okay, the police literally, the one, like, I get they went and visited them, they cleaned it up, all that stuff. She made them go to the woods, all that. And could the dogs have smelled them? That sort of thing, maybe, whatever. I can suspend my disbelief for that. You're telling me that police didn't draw a freaking line to where they were running off to with like the footage? My other problem with that is they kind of mentioned this, and I didn't feel like they gave a satisfying enough explanation. Was like, why are no more cameras picking up these kids just running through the neighborhoods? I think they mentioned that like after they leave their own houses, like cameras, they're not seen again or whatever. But I never really explain why that is. I guess just witchcraft. I guess our Ring camera only catches something when it's activated, like when it's certain range.
Sure.
So like if like there was something happening across the street, my camera would just not save that.
But still, like you have other cameras that aren't necessarily just Ring cameras that, a random house might have or whatever. Like you'd think that something would get picked up.
Yeah. But business.
Yeah. Business. Right.
Yeah. Again, that's within the realm of, I can suspend my disbelief enough for this.
Yeah.
I do think they could have drawn a line, right?
Yeah.
And it had some sort of dead end, but again, that's getting in the weeds. I think the movie does enough right that it's like, okay, well, I'll give them that. Just the pose itself, like this kind of T pose, was just very disturbing.
It's such an unnatural way of running. It just looks so weird every time anyone does it. And Yeah, I mean, it's been that way since like the first teasers came out. I'm like, God, why are they running?
Yeah, that's all I saw was the footage, like I said, the doorbell camera footage of them running. I'm like, I don't want to know anything else about this. That was terrifying. The shot I mentioned that has all the different tones in one is when Justine Gandy's like sitting at Alex's house in her car, and the door, she's fallen asleep, and the door opens, and you see the mom like come out with the scissors, and it's just like you can't really tell exactly. It's like, is she holding a knife? What is she doing? And then she's like moving so weird.
It was
like
really
disturbing,
creepy.
but then it's like funny, and like she comes up. And then she like goes out of frame, and you see the door open, and that is like, oh my gosh! And then you see the scissors come out. That is just, I thought that shot was exceptional.
Yeah, no, it was really creepy. I mean, every time the door just opens, it's just total blackness. Like you just can't see anything on the inside of the house. It's just a very creepy visual. But yeah, that one got my entire theater like creeped out.
Yeah, you could feel the whole audience cringe.
Yeah. And that's one of those moments I wanted to mention that I feel I was kind of worried that people were going to laugh at it because she is kind of moving funny and everything. And I could see people like thinking it's funny.
I thought it was funny when she was moving like that.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, I don't know. I don't know. As you said, it is and it isn't at certain points in that scene.
Yeah. It goes back and forth between creepy and goofy.
Yeah.
Kind of another goofy moment is like when Josh Brolin, you have the druggies coming at him just over and over relentlessly.
Yeah.
that becomes scary at first, but then it just turns into comedy.
Yeah, no, that part was so funny. Just him constantly throwing him, tossing him, just keeps going. That's so good.
Going through trying to find his kid. Yeah. Scary stuff. There's clear like visual references to The Shining, whether it's his parents standing at the end of the hall, like the twins, the parents coming through the door, mom sticking her head through the door there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good stuff. We haven't talked really about Alden Ehrenreich's character, the cop.
He's just like a pathetic cop.
Dating the chief's daughter.
Yeah.
Or in a serious relationship with the chief's daughter, but
I think married, maybe.
Maybe married.
I think they might be married.
Yeah.
But
just clearly not into the relationship anymore.
Well, and it's like, I mean, that goes when you were talking about perspective and everything. You have Justine's story where he comes into it and he seems to have like everything together, and
he's a recovering alcoholic,
and
he's denying, he's doing a really good job of just being like, hey, I'm here for you, but I'm not touching that.
And she's never really got over him, presumably because she views him this way and all this. And since they former dated, but then you get to his story, to perspective changes later, and he's just like a mess.
Yes.
he chases after the druggy guy, Austin Abrams' character, James, I think the character's name is.
Yeah.
And then like
good name.
Yeah, good name. Knocks him out.
And he gets poked.
Because he gets poked by the needle.
And then he's like, shoot, I have a dash cam.
Yeah. And then he like asks the chief how to like cover it up and stuff. And yeah.
One of the funniest moments for the movie for me is when you have James going in trying to open it.
Oh yeah, that was really good. Him talking on the phone to like a brother or something, and him just casually trying, and then he finds one. Tries to pawn off that iPad.
Yeah, and I love the convergence of all these storylines too in the unexpected ways. Because of course he's the one who discovers it because he's just robbing this house.
Yeah.
Well, he's trying to just find shelter, but then he's also like, well, I'm robbing them too.
Yeah. They've got Willow or whatever.
That's a great line. Oh gosh, seeing the parents there, like, oh, I'm sorry.
And then they're just still sitting there. But God, when they get up, oh God, that was creepy.
Yeah. Oh, terrifying stuff. And then you have the part where he's trapped in the cop car too. And that's just like, oh, that would suck. Brought into this house. He's thinking he's getting $50,000.
Yeah.
All his problems going to be solved. And yeah, no.
Alden Ehrenreich goes in, and you just know it's not going to go well.
Yeah. Man, that stinks.
Yeah.
Gosh, a big disturbing part of the movie is just okay. Well, the ending is very satisfying that the witch gets her comeuppance.
Yeah, that whole sequence of Carrie essentially being able to use the voodoo against her, snap the thing, turn all of the kids against her. Very good. And that whole sequence of them chasing her through these like insanely elaborate like house sets, like crashing through the windows and knocking everything over. It was so fun. It went on so long, but it was so satisfying.
It was very funny to just families just in the middle of their day.
Yeah.
Just kids blasting through.
And then of course her getting ripped apart and eaten. Crazy.
Oh, very good stuff. Apparently that was an absolute nightmare to film.
Oh, I can imagine.
Zach Cregger was like, kids do not listen. He's like, none of them. And he for 2 weeks straight had nightmares about having to redo that stuff. He said he and the cinematographer. So I wonder if that will impact on whether or not he will have as many children in future movies. I also believe, I may have misheard him, but Holden, you were spreading disinformation earlier. But,
sure.
So it's my turn. I believe it's his actual daughter in real life who reads the narrations at the beginning and end of the movie.
Scarlett Cher is her name. So unless she has a different last name. Maybe.
I don't know. Maybe I heard him wrong. The ending is, on one hand, it's really satisfying because she just gets pulled apart. But then, like, they're not okay.
Yeah.
Like, they don't just, they're back to normal.
No.
And it seems like the longer you're in it, the worse you're.
That's what I was wondering, because like Josh Brolin seems fine.
Yeah.
He was in it a little bit, and I mean both Alden Ehrenreich and Austin Abrams get killed, so we don't really see how that would affect them. But I guess like the parents are basically like
in a vegetative
state.
And then like at the end, it's like, well, some of the kids begin talking again, 2 or 3 years later, whenever the narration takes place.
Yeah.
Which is just like, it just, you're not left the same, right? So in terms of, okay, what does the movie mean? I know Zach Cregger came out and said he doesn't want to define things, but when he wrote the movie, it was his way of processing grief, believe it or not, a horror movie about grief lately. But grief and all his different reactions to it. So each character kind of represented a different emotion to his grief of losing his friend. And
Trevor.
which is like, and I'm like, well, I wonder,
Trevor Moore, the other whitest kids guy who like fell off a balcony or whatever and died.
Oh yeah,
I think that's what happened.
Oh well, yeah, that's really sad. So he wrote this in reaction to that. So on one hand, it's like, okay, well, after experiencing, the loss of somebody, you're never going to quite feel whole again. There's going to be pieces of you that just don't ever fully recover. That sort of thing. People have brought up, is it about school shootings? You had the big AR-15. You have literally at schools, kids gone missing.
Yeah, because I the way that everyone reacts in this movie feels like the reaction to the how did this happen and why did this happen that comes following a school shooting kind of thing. And granted, obviously, this is just witchcraft taking the kids, but and I mean, it's still an element of the unknown. That's the way I took it.
Yeah.
But especially with it just being such a hot topic as well. I mean, yeah, then you have the gun in the sky.
Yeah.
Which apparently I did see that Zach Cregger just put that in because he thought it was a cool visual. Yeah. Like he didn't necessarily have a meaning behind it.
I really don't think he intended any huge social meaning for it, honestly.
Sure.
Because I know he didn't with Barbarian. And so I think anything is maybe unintentional, but he's like, I don't know. It's like, at this point, it's not mine anymore. It's the audience's. They can do whatever you want.
I saw a comparison to David Lynch of all people, although
he loves David Lynch.
Yeah, which makes sense. But David Lynch was someone who always claimed that he knew what everything in his movies meant, but he would not explain it to people. But regardless, the important part is that it was left up to people's interpretation. And so you take a lot away from his movies and everything. And I can see that here. I mean, it's not as abstract as a lot of as David Lynch's movies, but yeah, I could see Zach Cregger just putting a lot of things in here, honestly, because he thought it was cool or fit the movie, fit the tone, and not in any sort of dumb way or anything, but like he didn't have maybe any deeper thematic intention with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
but
I think I love to hear all the theories. Yeah, okay, let's hear it. Just other favorite bits of the movie. I love dream sequences. He one of the things he's like, I hate movies that something big happens, but it turns out it was all a dream.
There's a couple sitting in front of me that at the bit where Gladys is on the ceiling, they like screamed. It like got them really bad.
That made me jump, but yeah. But he's like, if I was going to do a dream sequence, he's like, I wanted to establish right away that it's a dream sequence, which he did. And like you said, there's some jump scare things in it, but
yeah,
a lot of the horror doesn't rely on that.
No.
So I thought that was cool. I thought the dream sequence was really interesting. Gladys does appear in like all of them, which I think I'm like, I would want to rewatch it.
Yeah.
And why would that be the case? That sort of thing. How would their subconscious know that? Or is there something connecting their subconscious with what's happening? Also of his Josh Brolin's "What the F" he gives after
that was
the
pretty
dreams,
good. I got a big laugh out of the audience.
Huge laugh. Really great timing and delivery of that. I'm very self-aware of the movie.
Yeah.
It's just like, what is happening?
Yeah.
Other tidbits I thought were interesting. The eyes is based off like the Graves' disease. So man, you had that harrowing sequence when Benedict Wong's character, the principal, like murders his significant other.
Yeah, just by slamming his head into him over and over. It just keeps going. The image of him bloodied with the eyes popped out is in the trailer.
Yeah.
So that was the bit that I was saying, like, if I didn't know that was in there, I'm sure that'd be pretty crazy.
Yeah, and I think also I watched the trailer afterward to see what it was like. They have the kids like breaking through walls or like all running together,
which I don't remember that.
Yeah, I think they show them breaking through a house wall at some point.
I thought I really only remember watching, I guess I watched 2 trailers because I kind of played the second one in the theaters, but I felt like all of them did a good enough job that like it's a good trailer that just shows you a bunch of things.
So much is happening, but you don't know what it is.
Yeah, you don't know, and so you don't remember most of it. Like the image of Benedict Wong is so striking that one stuck with me. Yeah. But honestly, I couldn't have told you most of what else is shown in the trailer.
Yeah. I also love the bit where she's like, "Oh, I need to drink water from a bowl, please."
Yeah, and they're all like, okay.
She couldn't just drop that stuff in a cup, I guess. I don't know. Had to be completely submerged or something. I thought that was funny.
Her looking at the ribbons in his office and then just taking them, pocketing them, I guess.
Yeah. Are those my ribbons or whatever he said? Yeah. And she's just like, I walked all the way across town. I'm just so parched or whatever, just like, this is not going to go well.
No.
But yeah. Really good stuff. I feel, all these people just die, which is that he gets drilled by the truck or whatever.
Oh yeah, it just explodes. You just see his head smeared on the pavement.
Yeah, nasty stuff. I also thought it was interesting. Zach Cregger said that they had to, again, with the kids I think Zach Cregger's done working with kids for a while.
Sure.
But he said like
Resident Evil movie's not going to be a group of kids going into Raccoon City.
Not Goonies style. He said they had to CGI some of their arms because they just didn't do the right arm formations and stuff. All the visual stuff in this is seamless.
I didn't notice anything like CG or whatnot.
Yeah, good stuff. I'm trying to think, has there been any perspective that we haven't
really talked about Justine, like the first one. We haven't really got into it, I don't think. So I mentioned it in non-spoilers. I think what I really liked about this first one is, of course, you have the whole setup. It's introduced. You've, of course, got Justine, who's the teacher, and you've got the town that's suspicious of her. Lots of foreshadowing with witches and stuff with it being painted on her car. But I like how she's just like a mess too. She's like, she's not like a goody.
How could you not be a mess?
Yeah,
after
yeah.
that too.
But she's not like, even like it's heavily implied that even beforehand she's got like attachment issues and stuff, like both with the kids and with former significant others and stuff. And she got fired previously for having inappropriate relations with a staff member, I guess, at a school or something. And there's all this stuff with her that I think makes her much more interesting than I was expecting.
Not really good about professional boundaries.
No, not at all.
She does a lot of things. You're like, you are well intentioned, but this
her
is
going to the
really
house
bad
and
idea.
like following Carrie home. I was in my seat. I'm like, I mean, that was a moment where the audience was. You could hear several people go like, "No, what are you doing?" Like,
yeah,
just
bad idea.
Yeah, that was really bad. But I really liked her in general. Very good performance from Julia Garner. The best horror movie she's been in this year.
Yeah, sorry, Wolfman. Here's
Pretty
Jack
easily.
to weigh in his opinion.
Jack's loved weapons.
No dogs were harmed in weapons.
Thank God.
Yeah, seriously. Take one of their bones.
Put a little dog hair on and then stick a dog on them.
Yeah.
Hypnotize a dog.
Yeah.
That would have been pretty scary.
That is kind of convenient. You can suck out their life force and use them as a weapon.
Yeah.
And what else can they do? I'd be having these people sweeping up the floors and doing little dancing jigs and songs, a whole vaudeville performance. I just wanted, like, what was her end goal? Just like, all right, I have enough life force. See you later.
Leave.
Also, why did she spare him? Is my other thing.
Spare
the kid, Alex.
I think just because she like needed someone to go out and like do stuff for her.
I guess, yeah.
That's kind of what.
Why
I
not one of the parents?
Yeah,
afraid of what would happen? I don't know.
I mean, well, actually, you know what? It's probably because the kid's easier to manipulate. I bet like the parents would be able to find a way to like get help or something.
Oh, I was gonna say, if I forgot to mention, there was originally a Gladys chapter that he wrote, but he said he got rid of it pretty early on because he didn't want to over-explain everything. And I think seeing it from Alex's perspective was
just
just
a pretty
the right
good
amount,
job. Yeah,
right amount. Yeah. Yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff. Did you like this one more or less than the Barbarian, or about the same?
I don't know. I feel like about the same.
Okay.
I like them both a lot. Yeah. So I do need to rewatch Barbarian at some point though, because I have only seen it the one time.
Holds up, in my opinion, which is very biased. But again, let us know what you think about this movie. What would you rate it? Favorite moments? What worked? What didn't work? All down in the comments. Comment in on Spotify as well.